Okay, everybody, welcome to our first Apprentice Worldwide online cigar smoking event. Actually, we have the pleasure of having Christian Eiroa, the owner of Eiroa Cigars. He's in his farm in Honduras, from what I understand. And we have him thanks to the generosity of Tico Gutierrez, one of my friends who owns City Cigars in downtown. He started the business during the pandemic, which is a pain because I know he worked very, very hard to have the business. And, you know, like everybody, it took a little dip, but now V-shaped recovery. Hopefully things will kick into high gear coming in the rest of 2020. I wanted to help him out as my friend as well. So I said, you know what, let's do something together, right? And that's how we roll over here. And talking about rolling, Mr. Eiroa.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm looking around the group and I'm reminded of many years ago, you know, we tried to, back when people were still reading magazines, we had a company before called Camacho Cigars, and product placements were very important for us. So one thing I did was I started investing a lot of time in focusing with the Hollywood people. And we did a dinner at this place called the Chateau Marmont. And I remember it was all press people. We had people from Us Weekly and People Magazine, all these guys. And I saw a lot of faces, like the faces in this group, people that had never seen cigars or that never really smoked cigars. And it ended up being a real interesting evening. I'll tell you exactly when it was. It was the night that Radar Online broke the story on Mel Gibson calling his ex-wife or girlfriend or something. So that ended up becoming conversation of the night. So it was always very interesting. And I've always enjoyed speaking with people, not so much cigar smokers, but people that never really smoked cigars before. And I think that makes it even a lot more interesting because, you know, and I get the sense you guys are a business group, a bunch of entrepreneurs in this group. And what cigar smoking does, let's forget about the cigars just itself, but it becomes something where you and that person that you want to spend time with, you have that person for 2 hours or 3 hours in a very relaxed situation. And all you have to do is sit there and get to know each other in a very peaceful way. So as an icebreaker and as a business tool, cigars have always been fantastic. And you know, even if you travel a lot for business and you're stuck someplace for a week or 2 weeks and you don't necessarily want to go out to a bar at night, and you just go to a cigar shop and a cigar lounge and you meet all kinds of people. You walk into a cigar store, you'll talk to a guy who's a plumber and he or she's talking to a banker and a lawyer. So you get all kinds of people that really go and hang out at cigar stores, and you really have all kinds of cigars. You know, there's, for example, Alexandra, my wife, she used to be a cigarette smoker years before. She quit and then she started smoking cigars, and it all happened because I was making this cigar, a special size called 40 by 4, very small shape. And I was making that cigar for Spain. And she says, oh, I like that size. It fits in my purse. I want to be able to smoke. And all of a sudden now, every time we go to dinner, every Friday or Saturday, it just became a thing. She and I will go out to dinner, we'll come home, we'll smoke a cigar. Or unless we find a place, obviously if the dinner went well. If the dinner didn't go well, we don't smoke very many cigars together. So I do get myself in trouble once in a while with her. But it does, see, you guys are laughing, man. You guys have all been there. You think the dinner's going great, then you say one thing, and then, you know, everything just goes completely off the rails very quickly. So it just becomes something very interesting for you to do. You know, cigars, we're a very, very small industry, and you have many different types of companies. You have 3 different types of companies in our industry now. You have the big corporate types. They make great product. Everybody makes great product, right? But then you have a different group of people that are just marketing companies that they market their brands very well. And then you have, you know, a smaller group that, you know, I'm sure you guys have heard of Fuente Cigars, and then us, you know, companies like us, you know, you got Padron, you got Perdomo, you got a very few families that now we focus on really just legacy and making products that we will be able to pass on to our children and next generations. And, you know, on the business side, cigars are what makes it so much fun is that it's a very rudimentary industry. It still is travel, shake hands, meet your customers, and you actually meet. I know every single one of the stores that sells my cigars. There's not a very high turnover. Obviously, you got internet companies too, but we know those guys too. And we have a lot of opportunities also to meet cigar smokers themselves. And you're absolutely right, man. More and more women are smoking cigars now. And it's not about joining the club. No, it's just, you know, the cigar becomes such a selfish thing for you to do because those 2 hours are absolutely yours 100%. No one's going to bug you. So whenever somebody smokes, whenever, for example, my case, I know it's the same with Tico and a couple other guys that I know. There's always that one day of the week or 2 or 3 days of the week that you just want to sit outside and smoke a cigar for 2 hours because you just want to think. Like women have trouble understanding that sometimes as men, we just want to sit there and not say anything and think. A cigar gives us the perfect excuse. And that's actually that was the hardest thing to to break with Alexandra. It's like, listen, maybe I love you when you smoke cigars, but we don't talk when we smoke cigars. She goes, okay, but the jodiste. Now you're gonna have to talk. So anyway, so we're compromising, but I do enjoy those moments with her, and I've met a lot of nice people all over the world through this craft, and it really is a craft. It's an artisan thing that we do, and we do it with a lot of pride. That's why when Tico told me about this group and that you guys were available, which by the way, I do appreciate you guys changing the date. I know we were set for yesterday, but as you guys know that the political stuff is going crazy, and the debate was super interesting to watch last night. And so I do appreciate you guys making the change. And I did come to Honduras. I'm in Honduras for the weekend. We're already planning for, imagine, we're planning already for 2022 and 2023 because tobacco, it's all, you have to deal with nature. You have to make sure you plan everything years ahead of time. So we're planning part of our production now for July and August 2022, as well as finishing some blends. Like if I show you guys the homework I have for tonight, I still got to smoke 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I smoke and I got a couple more cigars over here. I just got to smoke and see which ones work and what's going to work. And it's such a nice thing because there is no technology in our industry. So everything is done by hand. We're in Honduras, we're in Nicaragua, and what a great opportunity for us to be able to hire. With Camacho, when I sold the company, I had 2,000 people work countries that otherwise people don't have the opportunity. So when we sold it, there you go. Am I back?
Yes.
All right. Sorry, guys. Honduras again. So when we sold that company in 2012, I really wasn't driven by money anymore. I was really driven by more philanthropic reasons. Honduras is a poor country, and you got boys who are alcoholics by the age of 13. Women have their second kid or third kid by the time they're 16 and 17. So I wanted to do something completely different. And, we started this new company, very focused on reforestation and breast cancer. We're doing a lot with breast cancer. Imagine if in the United States, education for breast cancer really only started maybe 30 years ago. It was so far behind here. And so we're really investing a lot on the breast cancer. I actually made not the mistake, but I stuck my foot in my mouth of committing to one of those mobile mammogram machines. Bro, I didn't think those things were $400,000. So I got to come up with one in the next 2 or 3 years because I'm committed to it. But I do want to do it because it feels so good to be able to help people. So you're able to make a product that brings people together. You're able to help so many people that otherwise would not have an opportunity. And plus, if I can fulfill my philanthropic goals, and now also our factory, which is the other thing we're working on now, we're making our entire operation about 80% solar. We're signing the contract with a solar panel company tomorrow, and we can't do quite 100% yet, only because Honduras doesn't buy back power like FPNL does in the United States. You get it. So here they don't buy it back. But we're going to do about 80% of it and trying to do as much as possible to be able to be as clean. And, our farms are already, we have about 700 acres that we grow tobacco in. And our farms are already certified by Bayer. We know them as the aspirin people in the U.S., but they're really big into agricultural items. So we are 100% zero impact on the environment. We're 99.9% hygienic, even with this COVID thing. Once COVID started, we were already, if there were 7 or 8 measures that the government forced us to take, we already had 11 of them. So we're way ahead of it, and we're able to protect our workers. Again, that felt real good also. And, we're able to keep everybody employed and even still kept paying people while the country was shut down for about 2 months. So whenever, the reason I'm telling you guys all this is because whenever you guys smoke a cigar or see a cigar, I want you guys to really understand that there's so much more behind just the product. There's so much, there are so many stories behind a cigar. You know, those cigars you guys have in your hands. I think Tigo gave you the Eiroa, I think it's the Classic, and the Eiroa First 20. Those cigars started, that seed went into a tobacco field in 2015. That tobacco took 5 years to get turned into a cigar. You know, when you smell those cigars, if you guys haven't opened up that bag, you're gonna smell the cedar, because we cut the wood the same day we make the boxes, because we want the cigars to smell, and I want to transmit as much as possible what it feels like here at the factory when you open up and just the impact of that box. So if you really are a cigar smoker, and you know, cigars are getting more and more expensive. They're expensive to make. But if you guys really get a chance, you get a box of Eiroas or the Eiroa First 20 or any of them, buy the whole box, because once you open up the box, the smell is fantastic. If it's a little too pricey, some guys, between 2 and 3 people, they buy a box and they split it. But it's really is something fun to discover. And for the ladies in the group, I'm telling you, I think Alexandra goes out and she'll bring cigars, and she always gets pissed off because she'll bring 7, 8 cigars, and all 7, 8 cigars are gone because her girlfriends will start smoking cigars as well. And I can't convince her to drink whiskey yet. We're not there. She's still on the martini side, but yeah, really the cigar, man, it has to be a whiskey. My opinion, it has to be neat, no ice, no water. And I actually got Tico, you know, Tico, he said Tico opened up during the pandemic. You know, before we open, I go, Tico, I only drink Ardbeg. You got to bring Ardbeg in. Poor Tico, I don't know how many, I probably bought 1 or 2 cases. And then they shut him down like 2 weeks later. I shouldn't laugh, man, but I just know Tico for so long that I'm able to kick him while he's really down. So anyway, but yeah, whiskey, man, best way to do it. I like the peaty stuff. So I don't know if you guys have any questions on cigars, because I could bore you guys.